Here we are on this lecture trying to talk about the big guy in organization of the endocrine system. All right, sorry, let me dust up my camera. All right, so we're talking about cellular mechanisms of hormone action. All right, cellular mechanisms of hormone action, and that is our focus for today, guys. We'll be talking about the cellular mechanisms of we have different hormones in the body, but basically we have the water soluble hormones and we have the lipid. Okay, so here we'll be talking about the mechanisms of these two broad classifications of hormones. All right, basically you're just trying to look at how a hormone is being transported from outside the cell to the cytoplasm of the cell. Do you understand? To actually observe its action. Right, so now basically guys, the stimulus, okay, for these hormones is actually by three types. All right, that's why we said that the three mechanisms by which endocrine glands are stimulated to synthesize and release hormones is by three types. We have the humoral stimulation. All right, then we have the hormonal stimulation. Humoral stimulation, that's like should be the humoral lymphocyte as a B lymphocyte, right? Then neural stimulation, it could be that the stimulation actually got to the endocrine glands by the means of a nerve. Do you understand? Then guys, hormones mediate changes in target cells by binding to specific hormone receptors. Before a hormone can actually get past before a hormone can actually get past the membrane or the plasma membrane of a cell, okay, or of a system, these hormones have to actually bind to this receptor before the receptor can allow it go into the cell. Do you understand? So this is on this basis that we talk about the lock and key model, because the hormone is the key, the receptor is the lock. So if you don't have the right key, you can't open the lock. Do you understand? So the receptors help to actually checkmate how hormones actually get into the cell. So hormones mediate changes in target cells by binding to specific receptors. So hormone bind to the receptor protein, then this is followed by activation of signal transduction mechanism. Then there will be alteration of the cellular activity for that cell. Then there could be increase or decrease in the normal body processes. All right, that's depending on the hormone that is actually binding to the cell, right? If this hormone is actually to trigger some activities, and that activity should be triggered if the receptor actually allows the hormone in. You understand? So, what are the factors affecting the changes that are mediated by these hormones, right? So, if the hormone comes to a cell, what are the factors that actually determines its going in, and even when it goes in, what are the factors that actually determine its action? So, location of the protein receptor on the target actually means a lot. Do you understand? So, it could be that there are receptors on the surface of the cell, but these receptors are not in sufficient amount. Do you understand? So the hormone action cannot be in 100% because the receptors for it are actually low. Do you understand? Then chemical structure of the hormones matter. Do you understand? Then lipid soluble hormones such as thyroid hormones, and vitamin D bind to their specific nuclear receptors to regulate gene expression. Okay, so this will mediate changes in target cells by binding to specific hormone receptors. All right. So this is just the it how a hormone actually gets into the cell, and the action is strictly by through a receptor. Do you understand? So this is basically the mechanism of um okay, this is non-lipid soluble. All right, that should be water soluble hormones. All right, so let's talk about it, guys. Non lipid soluble hormones such as amino acid derived hormones and polypeptides bind to the receptor plasma membrane hormone protein. Do you understand? So when they bind to the membrane, the G coupled protein is activated. That's the first step. Just pay attention. I'm going to skip because we spoke about hormones when we were talking about hormone physiology. All right, where we spoke about the mechanism of action of water soluble and lipid soluble. Right. So if you want to watch that video, just get me up. Then, when the G coupled protein is activated, it's activation of the adenyl cyclase enzyme, right? And this is the adenyl cyclase enzyme, right? So, if the adenyl cyclase enzyme is activated to convert ATP to CAMP, right? So this is ATP to CAMP. Then phosphorylation of substrate molecules by protein kinases. There will be phosphorylation, okay, of molecules by protein kinases. And protein kinases are basically enzymes that, okay, will actually add phosphate to stuffs, all right? Then, after all these processes is done, the last one, there will be cellular changes. And I told you guys about the cellular changes. It could be that a cellular change is basically promoting or a cellular change is demoting. You understand? All right. So guys, this is it about the cellular mechanism of hormone action. Basically talking about lipid hormones and non-lipid hormones. All right. So bye for now, guys.